Welcome back to the Learning Studio, the place where law meets the real world. In today's episode of the Law Series, we dive into one of the most powerful and personal branches of international law, human rights law. You can catch all previous and upcoming episodes by subscribing and checking out the playlist linked below. Can you be arrested for protesting peacefully? Does every child have a right to education? Can a country ban free speech or torture detainees in the name of security? These aren't just ethical debates, they're legal ones. And human rights law is what turns those rights from ideals into enforceable protections. Human rights law is a body of international and domestic laws that protect the basic freedoms and dignity of all people, regardless of nationality, race, gender, religion, or status. It guarantees rights like the right to life and liberty, freedom of expression and religion, protection from torture and slavery, access to education, health, and due process. These laws apply during peace and conflict and aim to protect individuals from abuse, especially by the state. Where does it come from? Modern human rights law has its foundations in the aftermath of World War II and the horrors of the Holocaust. The key turning point? The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, 1948, adopted by the newly formed United Nations. Since then, it's inspired global treaties like the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, the European Convention on Human Rights, ECJAR, the American Convention on Human Rights, and more. Each of these outlines specific rights and sets up mechanisms for accountability. How is it enforced? Human rights laws are enforced through national constitutions and courts, regional human rights courts like the European Court of Human Rights, UN bodies such as the Human Rights Council, NGOs and advocacy groups which monitor and report abuses. Enforcement is imperfect, but legal tools exist to challenge violations, pressure governments, and seek justice. Famous case study, Toonen v. Australia, Human Rights Committee, 1994. Nicholas Toonen, an Australian citizen, challenged Tasmania's criminalization of same-sex relations under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The UN Human Rights Committee ruled in his favor, declaring that such laws violated the right to privacy. Result? Australia repealed the laws, making this a landmark victory for LGBTQ+ rights under international law. Why human rights law matters today. From war zones to courtrooms to the digital sphere, human rights law affects us all. It protects journalists, minorities, and refugees. It guides responses to torture, trafficking, and discrimination. It's central to movements for gender equality, racial justice, and disability rights. And it's increasingly relevant in online spaces, like digital privacy and freedom of expression on social media. In a world of growing authoritarianism and inequality, human rights law is a crucial line of defense. What's next? Understanding human rights law gives us more than legal knowledge. It helps us defend dignity, demand justice, and build a more humane world. In our next episode, we'll continue exploring the global legal landscape, diving into environmental law, refugee law, laws of war, or cyber law. Tell us which you'd like to see next in the comments. This is the Learning Studio, and you're watching the Law Series, where knowledge meets justice.